We'll start this practice lying flat on our backs. If you're comfortable with your legs extended, or if you need to, standing your feet on the floor. And taking a few moments to simply arrive in all the sensations that your body is offering you right now. Be aware of the floor beneath you. Maybe aware of the gentle caress of air on your skin. Maybe aware of any tensions you've woken up with this morning, or any areas of heaviness in the body. And then maybe noticing if there are any feelings of lightness, of buoyancy in other parts of the body. And then coming to the top of a full breath in. And pausing a moment, and on the exhale, open your mouth and make an ah sound. And please do that 4 more times. Ah. When you've taken a few ah breaths, settling back into your natural breath. Hi, Mary. Maybe aware of the sensation of air in your nostrils. The sensations in the body of your body breathing itself. Just having a sense without overcomplicating anything of what you need from this practice. Maybe setting yourself a very simple intention or sankalpa. And then please come to standing both feet on the floor, if they're not there already. And taking your arms out wide in a T shape. And taking a full breath in. And then as you breathe out, giving yourself a hug with the right arm over the left. And just see if your fingertips reach your shoulder blades, and it doesn't matter if they don't. And then gently, as you breathe in, unpeeling your arms, really feel them opening out like delicate wings. And as you breathe out, give yourself a hug with the left arm over the right. Maybe you feel your shoulder blades. And then we open out again on an inhale. We bring the right arm over the top again. And stay here now. And I don't want you to really reach with the fingers, but just notice if you can feel that edge of the shoulder blades with the fingers. And very gently rolling a little way towards your right shoulder so that your left shoulder, maybe a few ribs come off the floor and your head can roll with you. And then very gently rolling back. And I'd just like you to take a few rounds like that, rolling to the right, your head rolling with you. Try and keep your knees and legs still. And we're not trying to get anywhere, not trying to come as far over as possible, but just beginning to notice how the ribs, how the shoulder, how the head comes with you. And the next time you're on your back, staying there and seeing what it feels like to roll towards the left. It's like you're drawing your right shoulder with you and your head with you. And it might be a little bit easier or you might find it more awkward. Just a few rounds. A sense of a very delicate peeling away of the right side from the floor. Maybe the weight pouring a little bit into the left side. Beautiful. And then coming back to neutral and releasing your arms. Maybe releasing your legs for a moment too, if that feels good. And sometimes when we work like that with the shoulders and the ribs, you have a different sense of the connection between the back of the ribs and the floor, maybe not. Wonderful. And then taking your arms out in a T shape, standing your feet on the floor, inhaling. And as you exhale, bring your left arm over the right. And just noticing if you feel the shoulder blades, no strain. And we're going to start by rolling a little bit over to the left. Just notice what you do with your right foot as you roll gently over to the left. And back again a few times. It's quite a tight embrace for yourself this morning. And then next time you come back to neutral, begin to roll over towards the right. Just noticing how this feels as the weight pours into the right side. Notice if you're pressing at all into the left foot or not. It's not right or wrong. Breathing freely. Beautiful. And then when you've come back to the center, just releasing your arms and your legs, just for a moment, feeling the body. And then please stand your right foot only on the floor. And take your arms up above you so that your palms are together. The fingers are pointing to the ceiling. And we're going to do something very gentle, but I want you to make sure that you don't bend your elbows at all here. Do you know what? Can you slide your right leg long to begin with? We'll just take this gently. So legs are long. And with your arms straight, all you're going to do is slowly take your arms to the left. Your head can come with you. Notice, we're not trying to roll over to the other side. I just want you to notice how much of the shoulder and the ribs peel off. Then you come back to the center. And just take a few rounds, the head and the arms rolling to the left. And there's a couple of things we can do here. I don't want you to overthink this. It's a little bit like rubbing your tummy and patting your head. I want you to see what it feels like to take your arms to the left and your head to the right. And then back again. And notice where your eyes go. Do they go with you to the right, or do you end up looking towards your hands to the left? And at some point, I'd actually like you to keep your head rolling to the right as your eyes look to the hands moving to the left. Don't worry if it's awkward, just see how you get on. Beautiful. And now stand your right foot on the floor. Just take your arms down to rest for a moment. And when you're ready, begin to press into the right foot, arms just resting. And see how your pelvis very delicately tilts to the left. And then release the right foot and the pelvis rolls back into place. These are tiny movements, Feldenkrais this morning, which will gradually become yogic. So really we've been rolling our shoulders from side to side, and now we're rolling our pelvis from side to side. The left leg is just heavy, not going anywhere. Remember, the smaller the movements, the less the effort, the more your body, nervous system will learn from what we're doing. And then just resting your pelvis and taking your arms back up again, palms together. So as you press into your right foot, begin to take your arms and head over to the left. Just a little way. And then come back to the center. And I know myself that it's really tempting to bend an elbow. Try not to. Breathing freely. At some point, just have a go at taking your arms to the left as your head rolls to the right. I don't mind what you do with your eyes. And have a little check-in on yourself. Do you have a temptation to really push through that right foot, really bring your arms to the left? And that would be fine. Or do you have more of a temptation to go minute in your movements? And then take your head in the same direction as your arms and see if there's any more freedom in the movement. And then please come back to the center, release your arms and your legs and have a little rest. Just noticing how you feel against the floor. And then we keep our legs long and take our arms up. And just gently take your arms towards the right. And your head rolls with you. And it's so funny when I do this and then come back. I feel like I'm rolling uphill, and I don't know if there is. Maybe the floor is sloping, I don't know. Quite likely with this house. It might just be a difference in the way my body's organised. At some point, allow your arms to come to the right, your head to roll to the left, however awkward that might feel. At some point, your eyes start looking to the left as your head rolls to the left, but then you take them to the right, following your eyes, your hands, excuse me. Head to the left, eyes to the right. Fabulous. And then come with your head and your arms in the same direction again to the right. And just notice what happens to the spine, what happens to the rib cage, what happens to the pelvis. Beautiful. And then come back, release the arms. And stand your left foot on the floor. And just for a few rounds, press your left foot in the floor and allow the pelvis, and maybe the right leg a bit, to roll to the right. Very gentle, that's looking lovely. And have a little play with your head rolling in the same direction as the rest of the body's rolling. And then have a little go at the head rolling the opposite direction. Breathing freely. And then we can join in with the arms again when you're ready. Hands up towards the ceiling. Start rolling with the head in the same direction as the arms as you press into the left foot. Really allow yourself to feel the weight through the right side of the body as you press into the left foot and roll. And anytime you want to, have that little play with taking your head to the left as everything else moves to the right. And back again. Breathe. And then for the final few rounds, take your head in the same direction as your arms. As always with these Feldenkrais movements, we're interested in noticing where the movement feels smooth and easy, where we find we meet a little bit of obstruction. Okay, and then coming back, releasing everything. Have a rest. Have a rest. Hope you're both feeling well this morning. Okay, so just keeping your arms by your sides, please bend both feet on the floor. And your feet can be apart, but I'd like you to wrap the right leg over the left. It's like you're crossing your legs quite high up, the top of the thighs are crossing. And all I'd like you to do without forcing anything is to gently allow your knees to fall to the right as your head rolls slowly to the left. And then gently back to the center. Do this 2 or 3 times with the head going in the opposite direction to your legs. We're not forcing a strong twist, but having a sense of the pelvis rolling with the legs. And then this might sound a little bit awkward, but once you're back to neutral, begin to roll your legs to the left and your head to the right. It's going to feel strange with the left leg over the top. Tiny movements and back to the front. Beautiful. And then head looking towards the ceiling. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, peel your left foot off the floor and bring your legs in towards you. And breathe in here. And then take your left foot back down to the floor. Very gentle. And you'll find that your spine is pulled a little bit and then pushed a little bit as you come and go. And then next time your legs are in towards you, take your hands and maybe they can reach the front knee, the knee that's closest to you. Maybe they can reach the further knee. Just have a little wriggle here. Feel what it's like to draw your legs in towards you. Have a little circle. And then taking your hands away, see if it's possible to slip the right foot under the left foreleg or around the ankle. If it's not, it doesn't matter. Just tying yourself into a little bit of a knot. This is eagle legs, Garudasana legs. Have a little feel. And then please release your feet and take both feet down to the floor. And then take your arms out wide and inhale. As you exhale, wrap the left arm over the right, like we did right at the beginning of the class. See if you're holding onto your shoulder blades. And then from here, begin to move your elbows towards your nose so that your elbows are pointing a bit more vertical. And then begin to lift your hands away and see if the backs of your forearms come together. Or see if you wrap your forearms around each other. Maybe your palms meet, maybe the backs of your hands meet. It doesn't matter. But you have a sense of drawing your arms up and away from your face. And then making little circles with your elbows. Let's start in a clockwise direction. Can you feel that you're stirring into the back of your ribs? Feel your shoulder blades maybe. And then take those circles in the opposite direction. And then if there's no strain when you do this, begin to lower your hands behind your head to the floor. And then back again. Breathe. And then please release your arms. Have a little wriggle. So some people are going to love eagle arms and some people are going to find this tricky. Have a little squeeze of your wrists if you need to. So we're going to take the right leg over the left again. Draw the legs in towards you. Only to slide the foot behind the left lower leg if that is right for you. A little bit of a squeeze of the legs, and then inhale, arms out wide, and then exhale, wrap the left arm over the right for those eagle arms. And you can either stay giving yourself a hug, just rolling the ribs from side to side, or coming into that fuller version where your forearms and hands wrap around each other. And have a little go, taking your legs to the right and your arms to the left. And this is a tiny movement, it's a tiny rotation in the spine. Then come back to the center, allow the legs to the left, the arms to the right. And just allow your head to go where it wants to go as you move from side to side. Quite an unusual thing to be doing. We're doing eagle on the back, Supta Garudasana. So we're getting right into the hips and the shoulders today. Okay, and then bring yourself to neutral and begin to slide your knees away and your elbows and hands over your head. So you create length, maybe even your fingers and your toes touch the floor. And then you draw your elbows and knees back towards each other. Please do that just a few times, feeling your way. Fantastic. Enough of that. Let's release the arms and the legs. Have a little shake with your ankles and your wrists, arms and legs. I've got my arms and legs above me, shaking like a beetle caught on its back. And then have a little rest. Have a little rest. Breathe. It's important with these movements with the hips and the shoulders not to overdo anything, just to really gently feel your way. Okay, please bend up your knees and take the right foot a little bit out to the right and wrap the left leg over the top. Arms are just at your side. And we'll start by allowing the knees to gently roll to the left as your eyes look to the right. Your head rolls to the right. And then back to the top, just a few times. So what we're doing with all the work with the shoulders and the hips is also noticing how the spine connects them. And getting a little rotation in the spine here. And then when you come to the top, allow your knees to roll to the right as your head rolls to the left. Not too far, we're not coming all the way over. And then when you've come back to the center, please bring your legs in towards you. And then drop them again. So we just take them to the foot to the floor, peel away 2 or 3 times, just to feel what this does to the hips, what it does to the back. And then take your hands maybe to the first knee that appears or the second knee. Just have a little roll around here. And this might feel very different on this side to you. It feels entirely different to me. So as you release your hands now, just have a little check if your left foot can slip behind the right ankle, calf, and have a little stir here. You can circle in one direction, you can circle in the other direction. Fabulous. And then release both legs and unwrap them, take both feet to the floor. And take a breath in arms wide, and you bring your right arm over the left. So you can feel your shoulder blades. And this is maybe where you stay. Maybe you lift your elbows. You wrap your forearms and hands around each other into eagle arms. And have a little stir. Circle in one direction with the elbows. Circle in the opposite direction with the elbows. Take your hands to the head floor behind your head, and then bring them back again. And if your arms feel strained like this, you could undo your arms when you bring your legs together, or I'm just going to keep my arms where they are as I wrap my left leg over the right and come into the eagle legs as well as the eagle arms. And just see how this feels. And we take that gentle rotation, legs to the right, elbows and head to the left. Back to the center. And the other way. Back to the center. And the other way. And then coming back to the center, and just a few times, hands behind your head, toes to the floor. And then back to the top. So it's a very compressed pose. We're really squeezing our arms and our legs. Okay, let's let all of that go. Let all of that go. Have a little shake. Before you take a few moments, just extended. Feel the whole body now against the floor. Is there any difference in the connection between the body and the floor, the back of the body? Notice the quality of your breath. And then please roll over. And come into a child's pose. And your knees could be together or apart. And this, we've done a lot on the back of the ribs and the shoulders. So this is, hopefully you'll feel quite soothing now. And just take a few breaths to allow the whole of the body to soften. Relaxing in the face. Imagine there's a lovely big warm hand placed on the back of your ribs, placed on the back of the pelvis. Breathe here. And very gently bring yourself to an all-fours position. Knees underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders. And allow the pelvis to tilt forwards as the chest comes forwards. Allow the pelvis to tilt back as you scoop the front of the body into the back of the body. Cat cow. And really enjoy now the freedom of this rippling of the spine after all of that knotted contortion on your back. Really push the back of your ribs up towards the ceiling and then drop between the shoulder blades as you drop your chest and you look forwards. We'll add a breath to this. As the pelvis spills forwards and you look ahead and up, that you inhale. And as you scoop up, you exhale. Now push into your hands and sit back towards your heels. Draw your hands towards you without moving them to draw yourself up. Inhale. Lovely arch in the spine. Exhale, hollow. Push into your hands to come back with the bottom towards the heels. And take a few, really feel your way. Wonderful. And then we meet back at an all fours position. Curl your toes under, sit back towards your heels. Feel, actually, do you know what? Excuse me, come to all fours again and just have a little circle of the hips. Should have done that before. Feels really nice after what we're doing on our backs. And then please take that in the opposite direction. Okay, now we curl our toes under, sit back towards the heels. Shoulders relaxed, neck relaxed. And then begin to lift your knees a little off the floor as your bottom goes back, and you slowly unfold into your Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. And then gently bend your knees and come back down again. Really have your belly and chest to the thighs. And take a few rounds. You've done this so often now. Waking up the back of the body, allowing the spine to pour out of the pelvis. Then you can come up and stay if you like for a few breaths, just walking out your downward dog, breathing freely, finding that length in the side body, length in the spine. Take a full breath in and then please drop your knees. And take your hands further in front of you and begin to allow the pelvis to fall forwards, fall forwards. You're going to look at the floor as the pelvis drops, and then as the pelvis has come as far as it's going to go, begin to slowly take your gaze upwards. If there's a lot of compression in the back here, you don't come all the way. And then you push yourself back, just extending towards your bottom. We'll do a few of these. Gently allow the pelvis to float forwards, looking down until right at the last moment, and then looking up. Breathing here. So we're just moving between quite a strong extension for the spine and the back bend to a little flexion in the child's pose. And I'm going to add something here. So you come into your back bend. You come back to child. But now you slide your hands forward, curl your toes under, come to a downward dog. Walking your hands in towards your feet, to the back of your mat, and gently come into a version of squat that works for you. We're not going to stay here. We're just unfolding and folding. Come back into your forward fold. Walk your hands to downward dog. Drop your knees. Slide your hands a little forwards as the pelvis comes forwards. Slowly you look up. And then you roll back. Curl your toes under, downward dog. Hand towards your feet. Drop into your little squat or just a tiny one. We keep moving. Standing forward fold. Walk your feet back to downward dog. Drop your knees. Roll onto the front of your body. The head comes last. Just take a couple more in your own time. The point isn't the speed, the point is to feel the different movements of the spine and come into a rhythm. And the next time you're standing in a forward fold, please stay here. And take a few breaths. Rolling your shoulders if you want to, circling your wrists if you want to. And then when you're ready, pressing into your feet and rolling yourself up, bone by bone. Lovely. Just taking a moment now, we've had a lot of time on the floor, taking a moment to feel yourself standing. Making sure your feet are parallel, a little way apart. And breathing in. As you breathe out, sit back into your chair. You can slide your hands to your knees and to the floor. And then breathe in, float your arms to parallel. Breathe out, hands to the floor. Breathe in, float. You should be able to see your toes, arms to parallel, maybe up by your ears. Tuck the tailbone under. Eyes can look ahead to the floor or float up in between your right hands. Inhale. Exhale, come to standing. Inhale here. Exhale, arms by your sides. Do that again. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, begin to sit into your chair. Take your hands all the way down to the floor. Like you're skiing. Float them to parallel. Back down to the floor. To parallel, either stay here or up by your ears. Take a breath in. And exhale, push all the way up. Inhale here. Down by your sides. Let's do one more, just so good for strength. I want you to really tuck the pelvis back, tuck the tailbone under. You'll engage the core muscles. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor as you sit into your Utkatasana. Beautiful. Arms to parallel. Arms up by your ears. And really tuck the tailbone under, feel the length in the side body. Make sure you can see your toes. Looking really good. Inhale. And then exhale, push up. Ooh, feel my legs. And have a moment. Just have a moment. And we're going to, it's kind of interesting combination of things in this class today. Whole half an hour of essentially Feldenkrais method. And then we've moved into some stronger yoga. And we're going to have a go at one of my favorite balances, which just I haven't practiced for ages, which is what we've already done on our backs, but now with the added balance, eagle balance, Garudasana. If you need a wall, it's absolutely great to use a wall for this pose. I'm going to start by just wrapping the left leg over the right. I'm not even trying to tuck the foot behind. I just want you to have a sense of the thighs squeezing at the top and your hips drawing in towards the center. So I'm pressing my left toes into the floor, the heels lifted. And take the arms out wide. Take a breath in. And then bring the right arm over the left into that hug. And then maybe turn it into Garudasana arms, elbows lifted, hands away from the face. So just get used to this. You might begin to pour your weight into the standing foot, and maybe the other foot gently lifts off the floor. Maybe not. Breathe. Squeeze the thighs together. Hard. Okay, let's let that go. That's just the first stage. I'm finding the balancing hard. Let's take it the other side before we see if we can take it up a notch. So right leg over the left. So you're feeling your weight in the standing foot, which is the left foot. Arms out wide. And then it's the left arm over the right for the eagle arms. And don't forget, you can stay giving yourself a hug. And it is good to bend a little into that standing knee, actually. I should have said that before. Lift your elbows and hands up and away. Pour your weight into the standing foot as the right foot maybe comes off the floor just a little bit. And breathe. Take a full breath in. And then release everything. Shake. This is why it's good to do against the wall, because it's a complex pose with everything that we're doing with the arms and the legs. And the wall takes the effort off the balance, but you still get a lot of the strength. So let's take the right leg over the left. And this time, if I can, I'm going to see if I can tuck the foot behind the lower leg like we did on the back. Then extend the legs, and you need to really sit back to do this. And the left arm comes over the right. Breathe. Breathe, tuck the tailbone under. Press into the standing foot. Soft face, smile. Take a full breath in. And then gently unfold. So whether you're freestyle or against a wall, you can slide your back down, you can sit down as deep as you can into the eagle's nest, it's called. And you might find it helps your balance and it becomes a richer pose. Let's take it to the other side. Right leg over the left, or I can't remember which side. Left arm over the right. Breathe. Smile. Try and relax the shoulders. Take a full breath in and then gently come out. Whew. So just because it is a complex pose and we did so much lead up, haven't done much in the pose itself, I want you to do it again if you're up for it, either against a wall or away from the wall. Not going to talk you through it, just be more playful. Got really wobbly floorboards, doesn't help. Do it again on both sides. Hard pose, isn't it? Remember your eagle's nest. Sitting deep. The tailbone under. And then release out when you're ready. And just take a moment to feel the body. Feel the 2 feet firmly planted on the floor. Come to your breath. And take your feet a little bit wider, arms by your side, and let's have a little flap. Let all of that effort go. Now, I forgot to say at the beginning that it would be handy if you had a brick of some kind, or a thick book is fine. I'm going to come down to the floor to do something I love to do, which I hope will feel nice after everything we have been doing. And you're going to place the brick underneath your sacrum, quite low down so it doesn't cut into your spine. And then please bring your right knee in towards you. And have a little circle in that right knee, right hip. Maybe slide the left leg long. And just make sure you circle in both directions. And if you reach through the left foot, you feel more of an opening across the top of the left hip. And then you can change sides. Left knee and right foot on the floor. At some point, slide the right leg long. And I want to end with a supported back bend. Now, some of you might need your feet standing on the floor for this, because it just might feel too much strain. And if it's really uncomfortable for you to have the brick underneath you, of course, don't put up with that. Just take the brick away. I'm going to slide my legs long. And in fact, I'm going to take the brick up 1 notch. have more of a sense of opening the front of the body, and I'm taking my arms over my head. And then take a few breaths, feeling the weight of the sacrum pouring into the brick, and just notice how this gently opens the front of your body. And become super heavy and just drop into the breath now. So I don't know about you, but for me, after doing all of the wrapping into eagle pose, as I come into this pose, I really feel quite a lot of tightness across the front of my pelvis. So this pose is gently opening into. And this is a pose in your home practice that you could take for much longer. But right now, I'm going to invite you to stand your feet on the floor. Bring your arms back and press into your feet enough to lift up from the brick. Slide the brick away. And take care to come down super slow, bone by bone. And that feels really nice as your back comes down. Take your feet really wide so that your knees can drop into the center now. Arms out wide. And then really, really gently allow your knees to slide to the right as your head rolls to the left. And slowly come back to the center. Knees slide to the left, your eyes to the right, and keep going a few rounds, just rinsing through the pelvis. You can also do that for longer if you like. I'm going to come back to neutral, bring the knees in towards the chest, and just have a little circle, each knee moving in opposite direction, just to soothe out any residual tensions on the lower back. And any circling you do in one direction, please make sure to do it in the opposite direction. And today I'm going to leave you, it is 8:30. I really recommend you take a 5-minute Shavasana lying flat on your back, or come into meditation seat to absorb the benefits of the practice. But I'm going to love you and leave you. I hope that practice was interesting, beneficial. Good. Lots of love. Have a lovely day. Have a lovely week. Make sure to have a little rest, both of you, if you can. Thank you.